Hi everyone, welcome to Beckys Crafts and Goodies. Today we're going to decorate this tissue box. Now this is just a blank form that we can use, and we're going to go over it first of all with some chalk paint. Now chalk paint that I'm going to use is this Vintage with Grace, and this is Grandma's Pearls, and that's because I've got some napkins that I kind of want to use and match up with it really. So I'm going to give it a couple of coats with the chalk paint. You don't need to prep it or do anything, you just have to go straight over the top and kind of let it dry really. So what I'll do is I'll go over the top of this, round the sides. Once that's dry, I'll do in there as well. I'll take that label off, and then when we've done that, I'll let it dry and I'll be back with you. Right, so we're going to start and decoupage this now. This is completely dry, it's had a couple of coats. And I also want to show you this tissue box, which I've also painted, and it's in a slightly different colour. It's got some grey tones in it, so it's like a really light grey. And that paint, I'm just reaching over to get it to show you, is this one from the Very Chic Emporium. So just in case you wanted to buy that one and give that one a go. So what we're going to do to start with is to pick our napkins. Now I've got quite a few napkins, as you should probably guess, seen from other videos, but I'm choosing this kind of florally pack, and these are the napkins that I've picked, these kind of things. Now I've had these for years, probably 2 or 3 years, that design. So what I've done is I've worked out what napkins I want to put on, and I'm going to put this one in the top corner. This is just rough, that one there. And then we'll put one on the side like that, and then one on the other side as well. So that's the plan anyway. So to do it, we'll just do it exactly the same way as we've done it previously, but I am going to try and use one of these plastic bags. So rather than using cling film every time, I'm going to use one bag, and then I can just wash it in between using it. So hopefully that'll cut down on some plastic waste as well, and just keep using the same one. So what I'm going to do here is just get a small paintbrush and go round the design, just to pull the design out. And as I said to you before, the reason we do this is so we can tear the napkin, and it just gives it that, it just helps it to blend in more than just a straight edge cut. That kind of stands out a little bit more, so this just helps a bit. So you separate. And I'll be doing this, I won't show it all of the flowers going on camera, but this is what I'll be doing for every single one. But I'll show you with one of them. You go round, you just have to be really careful. And once you've done that, you need to then separate the napkins. So you've got normally a 3-ply napkin, and you just want the top piece. Can you see you've got 1, 2, 3 bits there, so we get rid of those, we don't need those. And that is the very delicate part that we're going to actually put onto our tissue box. Now I'm going to use Mod Podge to put this on. I use the matte one, so I tend to just pour it in the lid and get my bag ready. And then the section that I want to put it in, I'll put some Mod Podge over that section. It doesn't matter if I go into another bit, because we can cover it and seal it all anyway. That goes on. Then I'll get my bag. This is just one of the ones from IKEA. Just going to put my hand in and use that to smooth it down, and I'm hoping this works just as good as cling film. Just press it down. If you don't use anything and you use a brush, what will happen is it'll rip. Just move that round that way. The only thing is, this zigzag line's a bit of a pain because you can't see all the way through. Right, so very carefully leave that to dry. Just make sure we're really delicate with it. Just make sure your corners are down, and if you're doing it, go from the inside out, but this is the point where it will rip if you're not careful. So that's the side there. I'm going to do the same now on the opposite corner, and then I'll do one there and one at the back in exactly the same way, and I'll be back with you. Right, so I've done that. Now I want to show you just this part. At the bottom we've got a tiny little lip of paper. I'm going to leave that because once that's dry I'll tell you how to get that off. So we're just going to leave that to dry now. Now for the other one, I've been looking through my rice paper, and I've got quite a lot of rice paper, and you can do the same sort of thing really. I just pulled a few out, and I wanted to kind of show you the different things that you could do. Now if this was a different colour, say it was more purpley, that would look fantastic running along the bottom, but it needs to be a different base colour for it to blend in properly. You can treat the rice paper exactly the same way as napkins. It is harder, but you can rip through it and go through it with the water exactly the same way. But I just thought that would look nice if you kind of went sort of zigzaggy and put that like a trim all the way around the bottom. But I don't think the colours are the same, you know, too much the same to be able to use. I've also got this one. I thought this would look quite nice. The colours are sort of getting there really. They're not too dissimilar. You could maybe put the kind of the roses in the corner. I thought that would look quite nice. And then you've got the lady. It depends if people like faces on things, because some people don't like faces. I do want to show you this napkin, but some people don't like this kind of face, so that's why I won't put this one on. But that grey goes perfectly with the background, so that one would just blend in absolutely perfectly. But yeah, some people don't like them. So there is that. Also, if it was a different colour, again, something like this would be nice with the Sweet Home at the bottom. That could go along the side there, and that would fit really, really cute. But I'm not sure the colour's quite right underneath, but I think that might be okay. I just think that's a really, really sweet design as well. The other thing that you can do, if you wanted to, is you could put a sheet over the whole of the top. So this one's more blues rather than greys, but you could put glue, paste glue all the way on the top, and then you can put the whole sheet over the top like that, smooth it over, obviously make sure it's straight, smooth it over and leave it to dry. Don't worry about these holes or these side bits or anything like that. And once that's dry, we can take the corners off with a nail file, and that will just give you that kind of effect, and it will be all continuous over the top, and then all you do is cut in there, get the nail file and just kind of go around the edges, and I think that would possibly look quite cute. And it is sort of quite close to sort of the underneath colour, so I think that would look pretty sweet. Right, so I've done this one, and I've done it a very similar design. I found this napkin that had a bit of a grey background, so I've just put that on. Again, I'm not going to worry about these bits that overlap, because with those, I'm just going to show you with this one. There's not really many bits on here that are overlapping, but I'm going to show you anyway. You get a nail file, and you basically get the nail file and push it down like that. Push it away, don't saw it, just push it away, and that bit will just rip off, and you get like a nice kind of fresh edge, and that bit sort of, that's no good. So that's how you do the corner bits, and I'll just do exactly the same when this is dry, but you have to make sure it's dry, otherwise it will rip it. So I'll just get it in there and I'll just push it down like that and just get these corners off. I'll do the same thing to this corner, and then once they're dry, I'm going to go over them again with some more of the Mod Podge. So I literally seal the whole of both of the tissue boxes with Mod Podge, and you'll be able to do that when this is dry. So go over the napkin as well, and it won't rip. Once this is dried once, you can go over it again with the Mod Podge with the whole of the napkin box. Right, so I'm just going over the top with the Mod Podge, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to glitter over the top. Now I've got one of these in my bedroom, and I actually put glitter over mine, so I want to show you how to do it. You've got to do it in stages, and the two kinds of glitters that work quite well. We've got this, it's a fine glitter iridescent, or there's the Nuvo Pure Sheen glitter. So either one of those is fine. You have to be quite liberal to start with, but if you put a piece of paper underneath, then that will be fine. So you go all the way over the top like this, and then you tap off what you don't need. I don't know if you can see it, if it's picking it up, but you've got all this cool glittery effect over the top. I made mine one of these around about 2 years ago, and mine is still like glittery. It's still as good as the day that I did it. So once you've done that, you can then use this bit of paper, fold it like that, and then put your glitter back in the tub. So I'm going to do that with both of these because I really love the effect on mine. I'll do the sides again, go over it with the Mod Podge. I'm using this Decopatch brush. The bristles on these are a lot finer, and softer, should I say, that's the right word, and it makes it easier when you're applying the glue and also decoupaging. So I would recommend getting a good brush, you know, for this sort of thing. So just do exactly the same thing with that, go over it, and I will also put some of this Mod Podge on the inside, but I won't glitter the inside. So just make sure it's all covered, and then get your glitter and just go over, just kind of shake it like that. Just keep your eye on it and go all the way over to the end, but it gives it a really cool, like, iridescent, sparkly finish. So I'll do that to both the boxes, and then we'll let that dry so it's ready, and then we'll just seal it. Right, so here they both are, and all I need to do now is to protect the top, because you've got just glitter over the top and it needs something to protect the glitter from falling off. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to do this on camera because I need to do it where the room's well ventilated. I'm going to spray over the top with this Hobby and Craft sealer. This came from Wilko, but I think other people sell it. It's just that make there. So I'm just going to do a light coating, just spray it over the top. And the reason I'm using this and not the Mod Podge is sometimes the Mod Podge kind of dulls the sparkle of the glitter a little bit. And I found if you go over it with this, it keeps a bit of the glitter sort of sparkling, really. So also make sure that you Mod Podge or spray inside, because that will mark. And then once you've done, you're ready. Right, so here it is. I've just put a box of tissues in there, and what I've done with this one, I've got this one ready, is I've just wrapped some cello wrap around it, and as you can see, it makes it much more of a present, and it looks a really quite cute gift to give. So there we go. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope I've inspired you to maybe have a go at decorating a box. You could also, if you wanted to, just decorate an old box. If you haven't got one of these, you could just decorate one, or one that you're going to use, and then maybe just refill the tissues after that. So there we go. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all okay, and I'll see you again soon. You take care. Bye.